After 2 weeks with the Google Pixel 9, I've made up my mind, and honestly, it might surprise you. Google has been quietly building towards something special for years, and this might finally be the phone where all those pieces come together. Stick around. Here's the short version for those of you in a hurry. The Pixel 9 is the best Pixel Google has ever made. The camera is phenomenal, the software is clean and smart, and Google's AI features actually feel useful rather than gimmicky. If you're already in the Android ecosystem or thinking about switching from iPhone, this is genuinely one of the strongest options on the market right now. That said, battery life is just okay, and there are a couple of software quirks that might annoy you depending on how you use your phone. Full breakdown coming up. Alright, let's talk about what you actually get in the box. Google keeps it simple here. You get the phone, a USB-C cable, and a quick start guide. No charger in the box, which is increasingly standard across the industry, but still a little frustrating when you're dropping serious money. The phone itself, though? Wow. The Pixel 9 has a completely redesigned look compared to previous generations. That camera bar on the back is now a more refined horizontal strip, and the overall shape is flatter and more refined. It feels premium in a way earlier Pixels honestly didn't. The porcelain colorway I've been testing looks clean and almost ceramic-like. Glass front, matte glass back, polished aluminum frame. It feels solid without being absurdly heavy. First impressions are strong. This finally looks and feels like a flagship phone competing with Samsung and Apple at the same price level. It's a meaningful upgrade in terms of physical design. Let's run through the specs that actually matter in real life. First, the display. You're getting a 6.3-inch OLED screen with a 120Hz refresh rate. That means scrolling is buttery smooth and everything looks vivid and sharp. Colors pop without looking oversaturated. Second, the processor. Google's own Tensor G4 chip is running the show here, paired with 12 GB of RAM. In plain terms, this phone handles everything you throw at it without breaking a sweat. Third, storage starts at 128 GB with options to go up to 256. Worth noting there is no expandable storage, so choose wisely at checkout. Fourth, the camera system. You get a 50-megapixel main sensor, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10.5-megapixel front camera. We'll dig into this more in a minute because the hardware alone doesn't tell the full story. Fifth, battery is 4,700 mAh, which sounds decent but delivers mixed results in practice. And sixth, you get 7 years of guaranteed software and security updates from Google. 7 years. That's genuinely industry-leading and one of the most underrated features on this phone. Day-to-day, this phone is fast and responsive. Apps open instantly, multitasking is smooth, and I never hit a moment where the phone felt like it was working to keep up with me. The Tensor G4 chip is clearly optimized for Google software in a way that makes the whole experience feel cohesive. Google Assistant and the new Gemini AI integration work naturally here in a way they just don't on other Android phones. Call screening, live translate, and the magic eraser and photos all feel snappy and reliable. One quirk worth mentioning is that the phone can get slightly warm during extended camera sessions or heavy AI processing tasks. Nothing alarming, but noticeable. Also, as a heads up, if you're someone who plays graphics-intensive games, the Tensor chip is not the raw performance king that a Snapdragon-powered phone might be. For most people doing everyday tasks, streaming, social media, navigation, photography, this chip is more than enough. But if gaming is a priority, keep that in mind. Overall, though, the software and hardware feel genuinely tuned to work together, and that harmony makes daily use a real pleasure. 3 genuine strengths worth talking about. Number 1, the camera. This is where the Pixel 9 absolutely shines. Google's computational photography is still the best in the business. Low-light photos are stunning, the detail and color accuracy in daytime shots are consistently excellent. Features like Best Take, which lets you swap facial expressions across multiple shots to get the perfect group photo, and Add Me, which composites you into a photo you took, sound like gimmicks but genuinely work and work well. The camera alone makes a strong case for this phone. Number 2, software and AI integration. Pixel phones run the cleanest version of Android available. No bloatware, no manufacturer skin cluttering things up. Gemini AI is built in naturally and feels like a useful tool rather than a marketing checkbox. Voice typing, summarization, and on-device processing happen fast. Number 3, those 7 years of updates. Most phones age out of software support in 3 or 4 years. Google is promising 7, which means this phone stays secure and current well into the next decade. That's real long-term value that rarely gets discussed enough. Let's be honest about where the Pixel 9 falls short, because nothing is perfect. First, battery life is adequate but not impressive. On heavier days with lots of camera use, navigation, and screen-on time, I was reaching for the charger by early evening. It is not a 2-day phone by any stretch. The 4,700 mAh capacity sounds reasonable, but the Tensor chip's efficiency means you're getting less mileage than that number might suggest. If battery stamina is a top priority for you, this is a real trade-off to consider. Second, there is still no telephoto lens on the base Pixel 9. You need to step up to the Pixel 9 Pro to get optical zoom capability. Google's digital zoom is impressive by software standards, but if you regularly shoot subjects at a distance, concerts, wildlife, sports, the lack of a dedicated telephoto lens is a meaningful hardware gap that software can only partially compensate for. Third, wireless charging is slower than some competitors. 23 watts wireless charging is fine, but not the fastest option at this price point. If you rely heavily on wireless charging, you will notice this compared to some rival flagships. These are real trade-offs, not deal breakers for everyone, but things you should factor into your decision. Real buyers have had a lot to say about the Pixel 9, and it's a pretty consistent picture. One reviewer wrote, "I switched from iPhone after 8 years and honestly the camera alone made it worth it. My photos look like I hired a photographer. That tracks entirely with my experience." Another buyer said, "Setup was so easy even my technophobic dad called me to say his new phone was quote-unquote actually nice. That's the power of clean Android software doing its job." And then there's this one, which I genuinely love. "I used the call screen feature for the first time and it blocked a scam caller while I watched. I have never felt more powerful in my life. 5 stars, would dodge spam again." That actually made me laugh because call screen is one of those features you forget about until it saves you, and then you wonder how you ever lived without it. The overall sentiment from buyers is that people are surprised by how much they like it, especially those coming from other ecosystems. So here's the bottom line. Buy the Pixel 9 if you care deeply about camera quality and want the best point-and-shoot experience in Android. Buy it if you want a clean, smart software experience with real AI features that are actually useful. Buy it if long-term software support and security updates matter to you because 7 years is a genuine differentiator. Skip the base Pixel 9 if optical zoom is essential to how you shoot photos, and consider stepping up to the Pro instead. Skip it if you need serious all-day plus battery life and charge your phone less than once daily. For most people, though, this is an easy recommendation. The Pixel 9 is polished, smart, and genuinely competitive with anything else at this price. So there you have it, the Google Pixel 9 fully broken down. Now I want to hear from you. Are you picking one up, or are you skipping it for something else? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this review saved you some research time, hit the like button because it genuinely helps the channel. And subscribe if you want a new honest review just like this one every single week. See you in the next one.